The prisoners of the county jail have become deeply imbued with spiritualism, and for good reason. They are visited by the ghosts of their departed partners in crime. A weekly Democrat representative, while at the jail yesterday, learned that one of these supernatural visitations took place, and the reporter called for the man who had been favored by the spirit of the departed. The jailer called Mr. Blake, who was an individual that talked with the spirit. It seems that old Hank, alias Henry Cahill, who has been an inmate of the jail off and on for some time, had an attack of epileptic fits a few days ago, and they came so thick and fast that on the second day, old Hank passed away from the jail cell to another. But if old Hank's spirit tells the truth, not a much happier climb than this. Well, old Hank was buried, and the prison life of those yet remaining wore on in its accustomed dullness until last Friday night. About 9 o'clock, while Blake, the man referred, was lying in his cell wide awake and grieving over the things that might have been, he heard a thumping on the top of his cell. "What's that?" said Blake. In a deep, spectral voice, the answer came. "It is me, old Hank, and I want to talk to you." To say that each particular hair on Blake's head stood on end, like quills upon a fretful porcupine, would not be a circumstance compared with the facts in this case. But after thinking a moment, he knew that he had never done the old man any harm, and therefore had nothing to fear. "Well, what do you have to say?" asked Blake. "Oh, I've lots to say," replied the voice. "I'm in purgatory right now, and I am miserable. I want you to pray for me and assist me to get out of this unbearable misery." By this time, an old German, who is known as Bismarck, and who bunks with Blake, had pricked up his ears and was listening. Bismarck, however, was skeptical and did not believe this was old Hank's spirit, and so expressioned himself, "I don't believe that was old Hank. He got something else to do besides monkey around me at the top of that cell. Them spirits was a humbug, ain't it?" Old Hank heard the disbeliever, and the graveyard voice from the top of the cell spoke up again. "Bismarck, you doubt my spirit? If you do, I will come to you in person and reveal myself to you." "What's that you say? You'll come to me in person?" "I take it all back. You don't was need to come, Hank. I am sure of it was you." Old Hank's spirit seemed to be satisfied with this assurance and took its flight back to the realms of purgatory. Blake is certain it was old Hank's spirit that visited him, but he thinks Hank might have selected some more efficacious prayer than his to lift his spirit out of misery. French Joe, who is a prisoner, says he knows what old Hank is after. It's his eyeglasses which he left in the jail, and which Joe had appropriated, as he thought Hank would have no further use for them. The boys are expecting old Hank to call again, although they did not invite him. Leadville Weekly Democrat, August 13th, 1881.